Hi everyone. I guess I could say good afternoon, but it would depend on where you're located. Thought we would take just a little bit of time today and we'll focus on some hip openers, just some different options. But as always, remember not to go past your limit by listening to our body and honoring what it is telling us. We'll be sure to just kind of maintain those limitations. As we're all unique, you have to kind of guide it by what your body is telling you. To start with, get into a nice seated, relaxed position. Wherever you're comfortable. Maybe it's having your legs in like this, or maybe you would prefer to have them out. And then just lifting, feeling that back. Just lift up like you have this thread at the top of your head. And you just lifting, feeling the lengthening in the back of your head in line with your tailbone. Elbows underneath your shoulders, just relax those shoulders. And have your hands resting on your legs, or your thighs, your knees, whatever is best. And then closing your eyes, or maybe a soft gaze on the floor in front of you. Let yourself go inward. Being aware of your breath, that natural breath. And my dog Pookie is making an entrance again. Just relaxing those shoulders, keeping that back in line. How does it feel? Can you feel maybe the air on your arms? Can you feel the floor underneath you? And then slowly, just maybe deepening that breath. Maybe as you inhale, counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you exhale, releasing that, maybe counting to 5 or 6. Releasing all of that breath. Inhale, feel your belly inflate. Moving up through the chest. Exhale, coming all the way back down. Belly into your spine. Take a couple more breaths here. Nice full breaths. And this is the breath we want to maintain through the practice. So always remembering yoga is non-harming. You feel any type of twinge of pain in any way, go into a variation of the pose. Maybe you're going too far, too deep. Honor your body by listening, being aware of the moment, the sensations that are occurring in your body, and that breath. By focusing on that breath, we're helping to calm those thoughts so that they don't just kind of chatter away throughout our entire practice. Like huge waves in the ocean. We're slowly just mellowing them out to smooth waves. And opening your eyes if they were closed. Take your legs. Bring your feet, the soles of your feet together. With your knees out wide. Now from here, if you have a couple books or blocks, you can take them and put them underneath your knees, holding them up slightly so you're not having any discomfort there. Or if it feels right, you can also just let them go. And take your hands, wrapping them around your feet. With your gaze forward, let yourself stretch forward, feeling it in that lower back. And when you feel that stretch in your lower back, hold it. Don't go any deeper. And you can slowly bring your gaze down to your feet. And then slowly coming back up. Bring your legs out wide. Hands to the floor in front of you and slowly walking them forward. Again until you feel that stretch in that lower back. And then hold. Bringing your gaze down. And your legs don't need to be out really wide. Just at a level that feels good for you. You don't want to cause any overextension. And then walking yourself back up. From here, going into your tabletop position. So maybe swing your legs around, bringing yourself up into that tabletop or on all fours. Knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders, your fingers spread wide, gripping the mat with your fingertips as well, spreading that weight evenly. And once you've made the adjustment, then slowly, actually I'm going to take these out. Allow yourself to drop that belly, lifting your head up as you inhale into cow. And then drop the tailbone, arching that back. Let your head hang, exhaling into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale to cat. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then back to neutral back. Let your left leg, let's do the left one so you can see me clearly. Take your left leg, bringing it out to the side of you. Walk your hands back, lifting yourself up so you're kind of sitting on that knee. I always keep a blanket underneath me to protect my knees, so please feel free to do that. And once you're up, let your left hand just rest onto that left leg, and then lift your right arm into the air, really opening up this right side. And bringing your right arm down to the floor, lift your left arm into the air, and you can hold it right here. Or if you would like, lift that left leg into the air, almost like a half moon in a way, a modified half moon. And then lowering it, bringing yourself back down, hands in front of you, slide that left leg back, and come into your tabletop again. This time, take your right leg, sliding it out to the side, and then lifting yourself up, walking your hands back. Rest your right hand onto your right leg. Lift your left hand into the air, opening up that left side this time. Again, if you feel any twinge of pain, please just come back out and just rest it. Lift your left leg up. You don't have to bend over. And then lowering that left hand down to the ground. Lift your right hand to the air, and if you want, lift that right leg in the air. And releasing, coming back into that tabletop, however you would like. And then from here, curl those back toes under and lift your hips into the air for your first down dog. Head between your biceps, lifting those hips up. Maybe pushing one foot down, then the other, alternating the feet. Just kind of stretching in. Lift your right leg into the air. keeping your hips facing forward. And then bend that knee. Bring your gaze to the front of your mat, lowering that right foot down right in between your hands. Once there, let the left knee drop to the floor, to the mat, resting the top of the foot to the mat. And then lift your arms up into a low lunge, reaching for the sky. Maybe lift your chest up a little bit, nice gentle back bend, keeping your neck neutral. Lowering your arms back down. And then take your right foot, bringing them to the outside of the mat. Maybe having your blocks handy. Bring them on the inside of your right foot. And you can hold it right here. If you want to go a little deeper, you can kind of lower the blocks coming onto your forearms as well. Or you can go even deeper onto the mat. Paying attention to what is happening in your body. Where do you feel it? You should really be feeling it on the inside of that thigh, on that right leg, on the outside. And then lifting yourself up. Maybe moving those blocks off to the side for now. Bring that foot, walking it back to the center. Hands framing that foot. Lift that back leg up. And maybe you want to draw it in a little bit, turning that back foot to about a 45-degree angle. And when you feel stable and secure, grounded to the mat, slowly lift yourself up. But when you lift yourself up, feel your legs lifting you. Not your back, your legs. You'll really feel it here. So when you feel grounded, you're stable here. Into a warrior one position. Lift your arms up again. Maybe bring them down into goal posts. Now you're really feeling it on the inside of that left. A little bit on your quads and the right. Bring your hands down to your hip. Turn that back foot so it's facing the outside of the mat. Bringing your arms up into a warrior two position. Your gaze on those front fingers, the right fingers. And then turn that right foot to the front of the mat. So a wide leg stance. From here, hands on your hip. Maybe bring your fingertips right into that area, right where your thighs meet your hips. And bending at the hips, come to a flat back. And lifting yourself back up. This time taking that left foot, turning it so it's facing the back of the mat, keeping your right foot facing the outside of the mat. Bend that knee, bring yourself back into that warrior two pose. And from here, taking that back foot, turning it so it's at about a 45-degree angle to the back of your mat, into that warrior one position. So maybe you want to move your leg up a little bit, doing whatever feels best. Again, remembering knee placement never goes beyond the ankle. Lift your arms up into a warrior one. And then lowering your arms, just waterfall them down. Let that back knee come down to the mat, resting the top of your foot onto the mat, into this low lunge, lifting your arms up. And then lower down again. And then curling those back toes under, bringing your hands, take that left foot, drawing it back into that down dog again. Lift those hips into the air. Lift that left leg up into the air. Slowly lowering it down, this time walking towards the back of your mat, towards your hands, coming into a forward fold. Hands to your shin, back flat with the floor, if parallel with the floor. And then back into that forward fold, knees bent. Lift yourself up into a standing position, palms together. Exhale, coming to heart center. Now from here, we'll do a little bit of tree. So you may want to have, if you want to have a wall for support, please feel free to go do that. The best part of trying to stay stable in the tree pose is to actually find a spot on the floor to focus your gaze. It's called your drishti, a non-moving object. So maybe there's a spot right on the floor that you can kind of focus on that isn't moving. Bring your right heel to your left ankle. Your hands can be in any position you like. Maybe you would like them in prayer pose. Maybe you'd like them kind of just off to the side, helping you to balance. And then slowly lifting that foot up. Your heel can be underneath your kneecap or above, but do not press directly onto the kneecap. Remember to find that non-moving object. Remembering to breathe, being aware of what's occurring in your body. Bring that foot down and maybe out in front of you, just a little bit off the floor. If you would like, put your tiptoes onto the floor. Tiptoes, I don't even know if that's a word. But bring your toes to the floor if you need to for balance. You don't want to go high off the floor. Then slowly bringing them to the side. And then behind you. And then down beside your other foot. And just give your legs a shake. Just feeling it. This time taking the left heel, bringing it to your right ankle. Remembering to breathe. When you're ready, slowly lifting that heel up to the area that feels best for you. Staying focused on that non-moving object. Letting your foot come forward just slightly off the ground or toes touching. Bring it over to the side. Knowing that one side may feel a little more wobbly than the other, and that's perfectly normal. It happens. And then behind you. And then down, giving your legs that nice little shake again. And from here, bring your legs, maybe you want them about the width of the mat if you're facing the front of your mat, just a little ways away. Turn your toes outward a little bit, heels in. Bring your hands together and slowly coming into a squat. Now you can go into a squat like this if you would like. I'm going to move this. come to the top. Have your blocks handy. So if you want to come into a half squat, just use your blocks to help you for like a little bit of support. Or you can come all the way down to the floor. Kind of just holding yourself into that sitting position. And then taking those blocks, moving them out of the way. Here, come on to all fours again. And maybe you want that blanket one more time to put underneath your knees. Coming into that. Knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. Bring your right leg out straight, lifting it up into the air. And you can hold it right here, or if you would like, take your left hand, lifting it up, balancing between the right hand and the left knee. And releasing, coming into that tabletop. This time, lift your left leg up. And your right hand, if you would like, balancing between the left hand and right knee. And releasing, coming into that tabletop. And from here, let yourself just slowly sink into the child's pose. Maybe bringing your knees slightly wider than hip width apart. Let your hands come down in front of you, or if you want, lying and beside you. Resting your forehead onto the mat. Just take a few breaths here. Letting your spine come back to neutral, natural. And then slowly, however you want to get there, let's come on to your back. Now this next one might be, I want you to kind of judge it based on what feels good for you. Maybe have your blocks handy if you would like, one on each side. Lift your, kind of be lying on your back, your soles of your feet on the mat close to your body. Lift your right leg up and then cross it, bringing your ankle over the left knee or the left thigh. Just hold it here, really just kind of feeling a little bit of opening in that right thigh, that right hip area. Making sure that you do not feel any pain whatsoever. And then release, bringing that right leg down next to the left. Lift your left leg into the air, cross that ankle over the right thigh. Just kind of while you're down on your back, remembering to just kind of open up those shoulders, letting them sink into the mat. Let gravity take them. And then releasing, bringing that foot down to the mat. This time you can keep this left knee bent if you would like. Straighten up your right leg. And then maybe taking your hands, threading them behind, holding that right thigh behind there. And you can slowly just letting it come out. You can bend your knees a little micro bend, or if it feels better to have them bent completely, feel free to do that. Let yourself just lower them to your right side, just until you feel a little bit of a stretch in that inner thigh area. and hold it there and breathe. If you want to go a little more intense, you can certainly straighten out that left leg. And then slowly bringing that leg back in. This time allowing it to just cross over that left leg a little until you feel it in your IT band area, the outer side of that hip. And then hold it. You don't want to go too deep. You don't need to. Just gentle stretches. And then bringing it back to neutral, central, allowing it to come down next to your left leg. This time lifting your left leg up into the air. Wrapping those hands around the back of your thigh. Let that left leg just kind of go out to the side, away from the body until you feel that stretch on the inner thigh. And hold. Remembering those nice full breaths. And then slowly bringing it back to center. And this time letting it cross over your right leg until you feel it in this IT band area. And then hold. Now, remember, if you need to have that knee bent, please do so. And then come back to center. Bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself just a nice big hug. Keeping your knees bent, lift your feet into the air. Take your hands grabbing onto the inside of the foot or outside, whichever one feels more comfortable for you. And then just kind of bring down. This is called Happy Baby. We're just holding it here, taking a few breaths. And then slowly bringing your feet down to the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together again, just like we did before. Let your legs come out to the side. Now, if this bothers your legs or your knees or anything, take these blocks that we have beside us and just put them underneath our legs, and that will support them for us. Your hands can rest on your belly. And then slowly letting those legs come out, maybe to the outside of your mat. Letting yourself get into whatever position you feel very comfortable in, taking a few moments to yourself. Maybe you want to bolster a blanket underneath your knees, maybe a blanket under your head. Just take a few moments for you. Take a few moments to just relax. Feel your body relax. Feel your feet just kind of fall open. Your legs sinking into the mat. Relaxing your back. Letting it just, gravity's holding it. You're supported. Relaxing your arms, hands maybe facing up, open, maybe they're cupped a little. And relax your facial muscles, if I can talk, facial muscles. We carry a lot of tension in our face. whether we realize it or not. Take a few moments. Just inventorying your body. What do you feel? How does it feel? Do you feel relaxed, energized? Bring your breath back to that natural breath, making sure you're just normal breathing. And for now, I will let you go. Please do take a few moments for yourself. But I do thank you for joining me today. And I hope you have a very wonderful day. Namaste.